Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Ren. I got a video today about the Ohio bill. You know, it's wonderful. Bills lately have been passing that are, giving men a little bit more rights, giving men a little bit more, freedom to maybe think about marriage. No more permanent alimony in Florida. Mandatory paternity test in Tennessee. But in Ohio, they want to remove this loophole that makes it so husbands can't be accused of rape against their wives. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
A bill to outlaw spousal rape in Ohio finally passed its first legislative hurdle nearly 40 years after it was first proposed back in 1985. Under current Ohio law, if you and your spouse are living under the same roof, or if your spouse drugs you first, marital rape is legal.
Why do they go straight to the extremes of your partner drugging you to have sex with you? How often does that happen? And if it does happen, why don't we question why does it happen? Right? Maybe the wife is not giving the man sex and he wants sex. I'm not saying that it's right to be drugging people to do it, but they're married, right? And I believe once you say, I do, you kind of consented to all the good things and the bad things, right? I don't know. I mean, just my thought process on it. But this law kind of protects men from shitty women. I mean, the current law that's there now. Why? Because women can start accusing men of sexual assault at any time they want. Me and shout outs to Lawrence. He was the one that suggested this article to me, and I was blown away. Me and him had a whole discussion about it. Just now, if this laws like these, repeal the protection that men have, now imagine a modern woman going about her modernness, is unhappy and she wants to leave you. What would be the quickest way for her to get that? Oh, he sexually assaulted me when I wasn't wanting to have sex. Now it puts him in a criminal thing. And how can a man refute this? There is almost literally no way a man can refute this. It is literally her word against his word. And we all know women's word weigh much more than men's words. So I think the states that have the law in place to protect men, California is one of them, they thought about this. There's actually not a lot of states that have our law. And it's weird that they want to repeal it. I don't think men are just raping their wives at a mass like that. It doesn't make sense, right? I don't think men are just drugging their wives. And for them to put that, drugging your spouse, how often has this happened in your state to where it became a talking point? That's crazy. I'm more worried about the men that can get accused, because this is Me Too at a whole nother level when you think about it, because women can just accuse, say you're separated and they're not happy, or she wants everything in the divorce. And you say, hell no. And guess what she's going to do? Well, I'm going to report that you raped me or you sexually assaulted me. Boom. Now you're kind of fucked. I don't see how you're going to be able to fight against that. It's literally her words. She can literally say at any day, at any time, unless you have your full house recorded at all times and ready to show those tapes. I don't see that being possible for a man to refute those things.
On a vote of 74-1, the Ohio House voted today to end spousal immunity for rape.
You can't have men with one group of rights and women with a completely different group of rights once they get married.
See, that's stupid, right? Because this law really only pertains to women. It is a very one-sided law, right? So if I was to say she drugged me and raped me, how would that go over in court? They're just going to laugh. They're not going to say anything. But it's the opposite. I'm going to jail. This is why I think this is a very one-sided law.
Disgusting, it's awful, and it's something that we as Ohioans are better than. We shouldn't have this on the books.
But on the books, it firmly sits. Ohio is one of a dozen states that has carved out exceptions to protect men who rape their wives.
See, I hate how they word it, too. It's to protect men that sexually assaulted their wives. No, it's to protect men from devious women that can ruin their lives through false allegations. That's what it's protecting them from. Why? Because the likelihood of men sexually assaulting their wives in such a manner is such a minute thing. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't. But I don't think it's happening on a global mass to where you need to make a law about it. That's crazy.
Ohio House Bill 161 would change that.
The legislature is by and large men. The vast majority of the people in the legislature are men. And this bill is men coming together and saying, no more. The sins of our fathers are not going to flow through me. We're done with this. We're putting men and women on an equal footing, and we're moving forward.
The vote on the bill, 74-1.
I don't get how it's equal footing, really, in a sense, because how it was before, it protected the wife, too. It's not like it only protected the husband. It protected the spouses. I guess this law would also make it so both spouses have the right, but we definitely know men don't have the same rights when it comes to accusations like this.
Only Senior Representative Bill Dean voted to keep
Shout-outs
spousal
to
rape
Bill Dean.
legal. He's not returned my phone calls, but told reporters it's only rape if the couple is separated or divorced, not if they live under the same roof.
So it's perfectly legal for a husband to drug and rape his wife in Ohio right now. Oh, wait.
Like, say again, they go to this extreme. Like, who is doing this? What examples of you guys have that this is happening on such a level that you needed to make laws to protect women about it? I'm not saying you shouldn't protect women. There shouldn't be laws to protect women. But how is this happening on such a mass that you have to do something about it? Because I don't believe that is.
Damn it.
But the fight is not over. The bill now goes to the Senate, where Graham says there are lawmakers who oppose it. They just don't want to go on the record as a protector of rape.
See, again, I've noticed media really wants to word it to where protector of rape. Really? Or these men are like, yeah, there's some evil women out there. And this law can make it so women can just accuse men of these acts almost whenever these women want. Think about it. If they're unhappy or they want to, or all of a sudden this modern woman wants to be with another man because I'm not laying down pipe good enough or whatever it is, she can just say this. I go to jail and she takes everything from me. That's the crazy part about this bill.
Many people have the political wherewithal for this to be the hill they die on.
Yeah.
And so what they'll do is they'll try to keep it from getting committee hearings. They'll try to keep it from ever getting a vote so that they don't have to publicly advocate against it. And I hope for Ohio's sake that anyone that does advocate against this bill is found out and identified and is held accountable in the court of public opinion.
See, this is so weird. Like the left or liberals or whatever, I don't know what these people are exactly. The way they talk about it is so, these people are just defending rape. These people, you don't even think about the other nuances to what this law has, like that and how it affects men and how it just affects relationships in general. I do agree that there's a lot of states that don't have that similar law like California to protect these men, and it's not happening en masse, but there's reasons why these certain states have it. Like California, I definitely believe is one of those states that should have it because there's so many modern women in these big cities that would definitely use this against men. So yes, I I don't. These men that are against it, I don't believe they're for, sexually assaulting your wife with drugs or anything, but they are not for women using this law to destroy their husbands in court. That's the big part where I see with it. Again, me and Lawrence were discussing this for like almost an hour last night through Facebook messaging of just how what can affect us through this law, or how this law can affect men. So again, there are some states that don't have the protection for men. So, and you're right, I can kind of see that it's not happening in a mass where women are accusing men. But a lot of those states are more Midwestern states, more states with that doesn't have as much money. Just for me, so California, New York, and stuff, those are probably the states with the most money, and then men with the most wealth too. So, this is a tough one. Not like I'm advocating for men to be able to assault their wives, but I also believe that when you get married, you kind of consented to everything. You kind of consented to kids. You kind of consented to a lot of these things that are going to happen within your relationship. So it's kind of weird to accuse your own husband of such an assault when you're married. Does that make sense? Like, yes, you can. There's women that don't want to do it at the time, and men can be a little bit forceful. I can see that, but I wouldn't consider that the same thing as just going after a random woman on the street. Like, you have you have a connection. You know each other. You're married. You might have kids together. That's just a weird thing to accuse your husband of, unless you want to literally destroy your husband's life. That was not the greatest of chow, but I don't know. I don't think this law might not affect much, because again, there's a lot of states that don't have already have this similar law, I guess, or don't have the same protections for men in relationships. But this law wasn't to protect men, so allowing men to assault their wives. It was more to protect men from allegations, in my opinion. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.